When it comes to Texas, you definitely have the all-American side of things. You have the apple pie, you get the cowboys, you get the
Football! Are people really leaving California for Texas?
I'm Pablo, and with me today is Jamie and Raaman. And in today's episode of Live Life by Design, we are going to be discussing the California Exodus.
So, what are the real statistics of this?
So the real statistics are less than 1% of the California population is actually moving to Texas.
That's not much at all.
No, especially when you look at the overall population of California, less than 1%. It's not really a mass accident.
Where are they moving from?
A lot of people that are moving from California are actually leaving Southern California of all places.
They just don't like the beaches and the sun.
I know, right? We know that these areas tend to be a little bit more on the conservative side of things. So they want to move somewhere that's also going to agree and align with political views.
Well, I mean, the pandemic did change and uproot a lot of lives. And one thing that we've seen is the whole work from home culture. So a lot of people are able to take their California wage jobs, pack up, move to Texas, sell their $1 million homes, and live fairly well off.
Pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
And while it has been a more recent phenomenon that we've been seeing people leave California, especially with the work from home, it's actually not new. So 19 out of the last 20 years has seen Californians moving to Texas more than any other state, aside from 2006, when Katrina hit Louisiana. And a ton of people moved from Louisiana to Texas. That's the only time in the last 20 years where California has been beat as far as people leaving California for Texas.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty crazy. I did not know any of that. And that just goes to show you what the news cycle does.
Yeah, the media will have you believing that everybody is leaving California to move to Texas. And based on the real statistics, we know that's just simply not true.
What do you think about like the offices have been open and they want people to be back in office to work from there, no more work from home?
That's the other factor, right? And that's what has a lot of people moving back from Texas. It's a pretty long commute driving from Dallas to San Francisco every day. And when you're physically required to go back to work, you physically have to go back to work. So we are seeing people coming back.
Where are people moving to in Texas? Like, what are the popular areas?
From the Bay Area, we are actually seeing the most amount of people move to Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio.
What should people know before they make this decision of moving?
I think one of the top things that people should know is basically the cost of living.
Property taxes are going to be a lot higher. You do get to save some money on income tax, but you also need to be realistic about cost of living.
Well, also the fact that if you are not working from home, the wages in Texas are quite a bit lower than California.
You're not going to be getting the same Bay Area salary living in Texas.
Or California salary.
The other thing to consider is the housing market. Property taxes are paid very differently in Texas than they are here. If you are looking to move, you can't just blindly move. You need to make sure that you're talking to a local expert that can walk you through the different areas and the different neighborhoods. The property tax rate is a lot higher out there.
We got them beat on that.
You also got to take into account, we talked about the beaches, California weather.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a Mediterranean tropical paradise.
Yeah, well, we can drive, in a couple of hours to wine country, then go hop over to Tahoe, as well as drive all the way down to the desert and just take a lot of road trips. Texas is pretty flat.
It's
from
flat.
What I remembered. Well, what about the humidity there?
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's humid and there's floods. So like Stevie Ray Vaughan wrote Texas Flood. It's pretty accurate because there's a lot of flooding that happens in Texas because it's all flat.
What about the tornadoes?
Wildfires. We definitely have a lot more forests over in California.
The other thing that you need to keep in mind is the size of Texas, right?
Ooh,
so
yeah.
We're in California. We're used to, okay, if you want to go from San Francisco to LA, you're going to be driving like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Transportation in Texas is very similar because things are so far apart.
And they love their gas guzzling cars.
They love their gas guzzling cars, but be prepared to drive. Be prepared for having things being a lot farther away than you're used to.
So you're much more reliant on air conditioning as well as having to drive a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other biggest difference is in Texas, they give you distance based on miles. In California, we give you distance based on time. So
How Texas is different from like California culture?
we're very laid back here in California. When it comes to Texas, you definitely have the all-American side of things. You have the apple pie, you get the Cowboys, you get the
Football.
Football is huge in Texas. The food is amazing. And everything, true to what they say, is bigger in Texas. So you can get a lot of num-nums for not a lot of funs. Which is always great. What would you say are some of the regrets our clients have seen having moved to Texas and now moving back to California?
The food. Not all the food, but if you want a whole melting pot of different kind of foods, you can go anywhere in the Bay Area. You can have every cuisine from Ethiopian to Thai food, Himalayan food, like things that you normally don't see. Like, I don't know how often you will spot that in some of the more rural areas of Texas.
One of the biggest factors, I think, is the job market. Right here in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, we have access to a lot of tech jobs, a lot of solar jobs, a lot of green jobs, where in Texas, it's primarily oil. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's very different. It's a very different culture. It's a very different job market.
Us being in the Bay Area, we're consistently used to a lot of traffic. So is LA. We'll sometimes be stuck in traffic at 2 a.m. in the morning. Do you know how different it is in Texas?
You're living in a big city, Dallas, Houston, Austin, you're going to experience traffic. There's just no way around it. Any metropolis area, you're going to run into it. Leaving the city, you're going to be able to drive with your windows down, wind in your hair, not sitting in bumper to bumper.
So when you talked about the job market, we've seen a lot of big companies moving their headquarters towards Texas. Isn't that made a difference in the job market?
That has made a huge difference here in the Bay Area. Living in Redwood City, we're right down the street from Oracle's headquarters, and Oracle announced last year that they moved their headquarters to Austin. We have seen a lot of people displaced and a lot of people having to move to Texas because of the job market and having to follow their jobs. At the same time, Oracle still owns all of those buildings. It still says Oracle on the side of it, and we are starting to see more and more people coming back.
If they're not coming back from Texas, they're moving from all different areas around the entire country. Whenever anybody's saying the California mass exodus, okay, yeah, people are leaving California. But we also don't know right now if they're all native Californians or they're also transplants from other places that just wanted to test out what California was like for 5 years.
There's many reasons why somebody would want to leave California. We talked about taxes earlier.
Yeah.
We are very liberal when it comes to our politics, and a lot of people don't like that. So there are people that are more conservative that want to leave, and that's fair.
Go where you feel happy and comfortable. Why not?
Also, when it comes to outdoor activities, here in the Bay Area, you have a plethora of choices. You can go hiking, you can go swimming. In Texas, because it's all flat, options are a lot more limited.
If you wanted to drive down to the beach from Austin, that's going to take a very long time to go south, right?
Yeah, you got to go all the way down to like Corpus Christi or down to the Gulf of Mexico, which again has great beaches. It's just not a giant coastline like California.
Also, it's probably way more humid.
A lot more humid.
Yeah.
You're talking more tropical weather.
Yeah, if you don't like clothes sticking to you, it may not be the best idea.
When it comes to Californians moving to Texas, any parting thoughts, anything you guys would like to add?
If you want to explore moving to Texas, go travel there, go enjoy it, see what it's like, and then also talk to other people. If you regretted moving to Austin or Texas, let us know.
Yeah, if you're moving back, we want to know why as well. This has been another episode of Live Life by Design. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below on your favorite spots. If you have moved from California to Texas and you love it, drop your comments. We would love to read those. If you want a list of our favorite Austin eats, go on the link below, as well as for some
Expert advice on
Boom.
moving.
Bye.